I studied in group classes. I took group classes for 16 years, and I really enjoyed them. But then I went to India. And what I discovered when I was studying, I studied for about 10 years in India, and what I discovered while I was studying there was that for 5,000 years, there had never been a group class for adults. The only people taught in group classes were children. Imagine that you'd go to, how it was, you'd go to find a guy in a cave. You know, you'd search all over to find the right teacher. He lived in a cave somewhere. He didn't come back and say, oh, come back at 6:30. There's a level 2 in the, you know, in the rear of the cave on shoulder openers. He studied with one student, and that student studied with one teacher. And this was historically, there's never been group classes for adults. And today, that's become the norm, right? And while it really fills a need in our culture because we're lonely. We have so many, you know, we've given up our parents' religions, so we have no community there. And you know, our activities are largely isolative, watching television, shopping. And so a group yoga class is a kind of community, creates a kind of community which we so desperately need. We're very lonely. However, it's the absolute worst way to teach yoga is in a group class because everybody's different, every body is different. Imagine going to your doctor's office. Let me just give you a quick example. This will drive home the point. Imagine going to your doctor's office and there's 30 people in the waiting room. And the doctor says, everybody in my office. And then once you're there, the doctor says, okay, I don't know why you're here. I don't really, you know, but, you know, penicillin is a great drug. Everybody, penicillin. Right? Now, do you think you'd go back to that doctor? In a yoga class, it's the same thing. A yoga teacher stands up in front of 30 people, 40 people, in LA, 130 people, and says, everybody, downward frog, or upward fish, or sideways, you know, turtle. And while there's nothing wrong with downward frog, or downward dog for that matter, it's not the right pose for everybody. And for some people, it's the wrong pose. So this idea of group classes, it's a modern invention, and it's actually, it comes historically easily traced to the fact that Iyengar, Pattabhi Jois studied yoga as children. So they brought what they learned as children to the West. This fit in very neatly with our model of mass education. You teach 35 kids in a classroom, and it came in on the coattails of the aerobics class, the fitness class movement. So now yoga, which was once a one-to-one relationship between student and teacher, became a group fitness class. And this is why we have, last year, 3,400 people reported injuries in yoga classes. Half of those people went to the emergency room right after yoga class. The American Chiropractic Association says that next to car accidents, yoga classes have brought them more new clients. This is unacceptable. If yoga were hockey, you'd say, well, it's collateral damage. Yoga is a healing art. Even for one person to get hurt in a yoga class is unacceptable. And again, while it does help to heal our need for community, it's the worst way to teach. When I work one-on-one with somebody, I've been doing this for 20 years now, you can't get hurt because you're only giving them what's appropriate for them.